agreed by majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the motion passed. Members' motion with no legislative effect. Honorable Sunny Tan's motion on stimulating the vigorous development of Hong Kong's small and medium enterprises with new quality productive forces and actively dovetailing with the country's high-quality going global strategy. Honorable Erik YIM will move an amendment to the motion. The Council will proceed to a joint debate on the motion and the amendment. Later, I will first call upon Mr. Sunny TAN to speak and move the motion. Then I'll call upon Mr. Erik YIM to speak, but he may not move the amendment at this stage. The joint debate now begins. Members who wish to speak, please press the request to speak button. And I'll call upon Mr. Sunny TAN to speak and move the motion. President, I move that the motion as printed on the agenda be passed. We're now faced with an unprecedented situation. We face new challenges. That is the case for different sectors in Hong Kong. Different sectors will have to seek to change. One of the key reasons of my proposing of the motion is to explore the future development of SMEs. In Hong Kong, we have 360,000 SMEs in Hong Kong. They are the pillars of Hong Kong's economy. A lot of them have changed and transformed. The government provided assistance to help them. However, for some SMEs, they are lagging behind in development. They are getting old and aged. The environment is different. It's lackluster. We need to inject more impetus into the SME environment. In the mainland, there are about 50 to 60 million SMEs. They face keen competition and there is attrition. Now we have the tariff war. There is a need for SMEs to go global. If they don't, they will be kicked out of the market. Going global is the national strategy. In December last year, President said that the country will have to build a different environment. The international market should be expanded. Enterprises to go global will have to use Hong Kong. That's why I moved this motion so that we can have a further development with new quality productive forces, and we can make good use of our advantage, seize the opportunity of enterprises going global on the mainland. We should explore collaborations and cooperations to help these SMEs. This will serve as an impetus for our economic development. What does Hong Kong have to help mainland enterprises? There is attrition. It's very we can help mainland enterprises to compete. There is high-quality development of our country. In the past, enterprises only work as a processing plant. They now have their own brand. They produce quality products that are very well received in other countries, especially in Belt and Road countries. So there is a favorable condition for these enterprises to go global. Major corporations have the ability to go global. However, when it comes to SMEs, they encounter different difficulties in the forms of difference in culture, languages, certification. Their standards are not aligned with that of the international market. They don't know about overseas markets. When they go global, they will be faced with a starkly different environment. They would like to first sign contracts in common law jurisdictions and have their litigations handled here. They will also want to make use of these jurisdictions for financing, management, and other areas. These are areas where Hong Kong enjoys a strength. It aligns with the 8 centers for future development. Hong Kong is a super connector and a value adder. We can make use of our R&D, finance, legal, certification, producer services. We can provide assistance to mainland enemies to go global, to explore markets in ASEAN, Middle East, and European countries. This will help mainland SMEs to add value. The role of Hong Kong will expedite the process for mainland SMEs. We can also work as their partners to reduce risk. This will bring opportunities for the Hong Kong market. that will be a positive trigger for Hong Kong's SME ecosystem. In this regard, we need to think about how to attract more mainland enterprises to come to Hong Kong. There is a different definition for different trades on the mainland. Say for the manufacturing industry, an enterprise with less than 1,000 enterprises is a micro SME. But that's already quite sizable in Hong Kong. I think that the focus should be on this one. If we only attract a fraction of the 50 million SMEs in Hong Kong, then there will be plenty of opportunities. There will be the multiplying effect as well. Hong Kong should be on the offensive to attract them. We can make use of our connections in provinces, in municipalities and cities. We leverage on our connections with the different associations and chambers. We will contact ministries and commissions and various parties. Using textile as an example, the sector actively works with counterparts on the mainland to collaborate. I'm sure that we can make use of our connections to get a better understanding of their needs to go global. We can have targeted publicity to showcase Hong Kong's strength. We can also work from the perspective of industry clusters. Every year, our country will make announcements on the 100 top clusters. There is constant update as well. We can zoom in on textiles from Panyu, smart robotics in other provinces. We take into account the needs to go global for these clusters, to attract them, to help them internationalize. I'm a president of the Hong Kong Productivity Council. We have provided technical support in terms of robotics on a mainland enterprise. And there is the successful pilot scheme of autonomous driving on the airport island. From then, it has gone global. There should be strengthened assistance to our local sector. Say, for example, invite representatives to join our country's associations and organizations. Hong Kong is our first choice for enterprises to go global. In this way, further development of our professional services is enabled. There will be plenty of opportunities. This brings a brighter future. SMEs in Hong Kong will have an accelerated development. When mainland enterprises come to Hong Kong, there will be more opportunities for other peripheral sectors, say, for example, retail, F&B. There will be new growth areas benefiting different sectors in Hong Kong. It's not about competition. It's about working together on a complementarity basis. I'll listen to different members, then I'll respond. I want to make use of this motion to give an opportunity for everyone to put forward ideas so that we can add value to our country's development. And I put a question to you that Mr. Sunny Tan's motion be passed. Mr. Erik YIM.
President, I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving the motion. I ask the administration to actively participate in the development strategy of mutual promotion of domestic and international dual circulation in my amendment. That's because of several considerations and factors. Looking at the motion from the perspective of our country's development, it is crucial now for Hong Kong to develop emerging markets along the Belt and Road initiatives. The mainland market is also something that our local enterprises to develop, especially the Greater Bay Area. We have 90 million and $2 trillion of GDP. This is a great opportunity for local SMEs to develop. I think that the SMEs in Hong Kong and mainland can complement each other. We have internationalized professional services, accounting, legal services, while the mainland have innovation and research advantages and a comprehensive industry chain. If we work together, then the SMEs can develop and do business across territory and industries so that they can go global together. While we help mainland enterprises go global, we allow local enterprises to develop better. According to the statistics of the administration, we have over 360,000 SMEs accounting for 98% of the total number of enterprises in Hong Kong, creating 40% of jobs in Hong Kong. They play a crucial role in the economy of Hong Kong. SME plays a replaceable role in, say, a commodities ecosystem, in warehousing, cross-border settlement. They offer many services to support the industry. However, local enterprises are faced with severe pressure. There is protectionism rising and geopolitical tension heightened. The inflation of cost has posed a burden on SMEs, and it's also very difficult for SMEs to transform. They don't really invest in digitalization and technology. This limits their potential of growth. SMEs in Hong Kong does not really understand the mainland market and the Greater Bay Area. That's why they were not able to fully make use of the opportunities present to them. I think that the administration should support local enterprises by promoting integration of SME into the Greater Bay Area and mutual recognition of qualifications. We should enhance the functions of the global unit of the Productivity Council, and we should lower the cost of digital transformation of SME. We should also enhance the new industrialization funding scheme. We should promote manufacture research in Hong Kong, and we should consolidate resources to help SMEs go global. Moreover, we have to promote a mutual flow of talents between Hong Kong and mainland. We should introduce talents from the mainland to work in Hong Kong while allowing local talents to go to the mainland to enhance their skills. Hong Kong should take advantage of having the support of their motherland and being well connected to the world to inject impetus into the SMEs and create new growth points for our economy. I so speak in support of Mr. Tang's motion. I hope that the members will support my amendment as well.
Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development. President, I would like to thank Mr. Sunny TAN for proposing the motion and Mr. Erik YIM for proposing amendments so that we can have exchanges with members to use new quality productive forces to stimulate development of SMEs in Hong Kong and respond to our country's high-quality strategy of going global. The proposals made by the two members are in line with the government's policy direction. The volatility of the global market, coupled with the fact that the United States is promoting unilateralism, has intensified the impact on the global market. However, in times of crisis, there are opportunities. With the country promoting development of new quality productive forces, Hong Kong will seize the opportunity to accelerate the development of INT to tie in with the country's strategy and fully perform its roles as a superconnector and a super value adder in linking up the mainland and global markets so as to attract enterprises with potential to Hong Kong and make good use of Hong Kong's global network and functions as an international financial center. The government also encourages Hong Kong entrepreneurs to further develop their business in the mainland to capitalize on the great opportunities brought about by the dual circulation strategy. As evidenced by various recent figures, global investors' confidence in Hong Kong is growing. In 2024, there were 9,960 companies in Hong Kong with parent companies located outside Hong Kong. About 2,600 of the companies have parent companies based in the mainland. Invest Hong Kong assisted 539 enterprises in setting up and expanding their business in Hong Kong last year. There is a year-on-year growth of more than 40%, with the INT sector topping the list with 120 enterprises. In response to the drastic changes in the global geopolitical and trade landscape, coupled with the fact that part of the supply chain is moving to countries in the global south and along the Belt and Road, Invest Hong Kong and the TDC have set up a mechanism for high-value added supply chain services at the end of last year to attract mainland enterprises to set up in Hong Kong an international or regional headquarters for the management of offshore trade and supply chains. One-stop advisory services are also provided to assist mainland enterprises in going global. The BRO Belt and Road Office assists SMEs in exploring business opportunities under the Belt and Road Initiative. The chief executive led a delegation comprising representatives from Hong Kong and mainland enterprises to visit Qatar and Kuwait in May to further consolidate government-to-government relations with the Middle East. A number of positive outcomes were achieved. Mainland enterprises are encouraged to partner with Hong Kong's professional services sector in exploring global opportunities. The TDC has also been through large-scale international conferences, delegation visits, and outreach activities promoting Hong Kong's opportunities and role as a two-way investment platform and facilitating collaboration between Hong Kong and mainland enterprises, professional service teams, and project owners in the Belt and Road countries. On standards and certification bodies of the three places have commenced high-end quality assurance work in various areas, such as industrial, consumer goods, agricultural, and food products and services, based on the GBA standards. The government will continue to promote the implementation of the GBA standards and GBA certification. Hong Kong is committed to providing mainland enterprises with diversified financial professional services and effective investment and financing channels. We will continue to leverage on Hong Kong's strengths in connectivity with the mainland and international markets, strengthen our function as a global offshore renminbi business hub, enhance connectivity with the financial markets of two places, and deepen our ties with emerging markets in the global south. The DOJ has introduced and implemented various measures to enhance the international competitiveness of Hong Kong's legal and dispute resolution services. At present, more than 560 Hong Kong and Macau lawyers have obtained the GBA lawyer's license, which allows them to represent clients in civil and commercial spaces in the 9 GBA cities. Under the CEPA Agreement on Trade and Services, the scope of application of allowing Hong Kong invested enterprises to adopt Hong Kong law has been extended to Shenzhen and Zhuhai, while allowing Hong Kong invested enterprises to choose for arbitration to be seated in Hong Kong has been further expanded to cover the non-GBA mainland cities. In addition, the authorities of Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau have published a unified list of mediators in the GBA and are currently developing a list of arbitrators to further enhance the dispute resolution mechanism in the GBA and make it more convenient for enterprises to obtain relevant services. With the support of the DOJ, the thematic website of the GBA Online Dispute Resolution Collaborative Platform was officially launched in July 2024 to provide one-stop information on relevant services in the GBA to enable the major arbitration and mediation organizations in the GBA cities to effectively conduct online negotiations and business cooperation, realizing the integration of mediation resources in the Greater Bay Area. The CNIPA, China National IP Administration, and the WIPO have jointly certified the Hong Kong Productivity Council to be the organizer of a new batch of technology and innovation support centers. The TISCs in Hong Kong will focus on providing quality IP information and services to local startups and SMEs to help them develop their innovation potential. The government will also proactively assist SMEs in making use of the GBA as the entry point to expand into the mainland market and seize the tremendous business opportunities, including organizing various activities and providing information through TDC's Go GBA one-stop platform to help Hong Kong entrepreneurs build business networks in GBA. In addition, the Bud Fund provides financial support for enterprises to develop brands, upgrade and transform their operations in 40 economies that have signed free trade agreements and or IPPAs with Hong Kong. We also launched the e-commerce Easy to encourage enterprises to implement e-commerce projects. The government is actively implementing the aforementioned initiatives and will review them from time to time in the light of socio-economic situation and the needs of the industries, with a view to assisting enterprises, especially SMEs, in coping with the complex and volatile business environment and facilitating inward investment and encouraging more enterprises to set up operations in Hong Kong. President, I would like to first listen to members' views on the motion. Afterwards, I will give a detailed response in my closing remarks. We have the undersecretaries of the CMAB and ITIB here today. They will provide supplementary information on the areas under the purview of the two bureaus. I so submit. Thank you, President.
Mr. Jimmy Thank you, President. I speak in support of the motion and the amendment. There are two parts to this motion. Let me first talk about the second half. Complementing or dovetailing the national strategy of going global. Our country focuses on financial investment and promoting going global together. It's about collaboration among different superpowers. In order for us to go global together, we must complement the strengths of the cities and the mainland. It's easy for us to export goods, but it's difficult for enterprises to go global. There should be a brand effect in order for enterprises to actually establish presence in other countries. Hong Kong has experience in promoting brands, and they will facilitate the procedures of enterprises going global. Prices of goods that go through Hong Kong is usually higher. And this shows that Hong Kong is not just a super value adder, but also a super connector. Hong Kong has several advantages. First, unique legal system. Second, free business environment. Third, well connections internationally. Four, professional certification organizations. Fifth, rich resources on research and innovations. We should leverage on our advantages to support enterprises. Well, the first half of the motion is about how we stimulate the vigorous development of Hong Kong and small and medium enterprises with new quality productive forces. That's about upgrade and transform, as well as the implementation of new industrialization to promote the development of our economy. New quality productive forces is about innovations. It's about industry chain from design to production, supply, certification. Earlier this year, the Chamber of Commerce published a report on the latest landscape. The report says that because of geopolitical tensions, there is a reconsolidation of industry chain, and there are two characteristics to the trend of mainland enterprises going global. There are more and more SMEs trying to establish a presence in other countries, and there have been more local brands created. Many supply chain is going green, digital. There are higher requirements on various aspects. That's why we must enhance our investment, introduce INT to consolidate our position as an international logistics and supply chain hub. I think that we can adopt 4 strategies. First, we have to attract talents and promote digital transformation. We have to introduce ESG talents. Second, we must attract customers. We have to take advantage of low altitude economy and enhance our functions as an entrepôt so that more enterprises will make use of our professional services. Third, we must attract investment by using AI to promote innovative financing so that we can devise and create more diversified MB products. Fourth, we must also attract more business. We should be proactive in creating a supply chain hub. I so submit.
Mr. Ambrose Lam, President, we always talk about the profound changes unseen in a century. They are not ordinary changes. They are changes in terms of quality. So we have to embrace, identify, and adapt to changes. We have been promoting about Hong Kong. We've been tapping into the Belt and Road market, but the government hasn't confronted the real issue. That is the structural issue. We need structural reforms. If we do not have such reforms and allow the market to survive on its own, we will be waiting to die. This March, I engaged a think tank to conduct a questionnaire survey. I found that Chinese-funded enterprises, if they want to go global, they do not engage Hong Kong lawyers. This is because Hong Kong is not internationalized enough. We do not meet the relevant standards. The top 10 law firms in the mainland, they each have about 1,000 staff and they have branches all over the world. But in Hong Kong, the situation is different. We're seeing high political risks in Hong Kong. So Chinese-funded firms, when they engage lawyers, they'll have to see whether the lawyers are appropriate. Well, this is supposed to be a very good opportunity for Hong Kong lawyers, but the law firms in Hong Kong, they are very small in scales. Now, turning to skills, be it maritime law or Islamic law or ESG, AI or Web3, we do not have a lot of lawyers who are specialized in these areas. So we're not only facing a market problem, but a system problem. First, the existing co-partnership model, as well as the naming system, they confine the scales of law firms. The larger the scale, the higher the risks. And if you want to be innovative, the risks it's even higher. If one staff gets into trouble, then the whole firm will have to shoulder the responsibility. Law firm partners, they don't want to shoulder the responsibility, so they keep their law firms in small scales. And secondly, law firms, they can be in the form of limited companies. And after 1997, we had the enactment of the relevant ordinance. But it's been 28 years. The law has not come into operation yet. 3 years ago, I made the relevant criticism because the DOJ served as an obstacle. This March, as the chairman of the panel on administration as well as justice, I thought I could promote a legislative exercise, but it is only 1 month later that I realized that the amendment version in 1997 has become outdated, and we can only first amend the primary legislation in order to introduce the entire amendment. That means within this legislative session, we will not be able to expand the scale of law firms. After this, I understand that the DOJ, as well as the administration and the judiciary, are willing to carry out the relevant legislative exercise. But how come the problem has not been resolved yet? Thirdly, under the existing system, the lawyers are regulating themselves. The reality is that there aren't many drafting experts, law drafting experts in the market. Law drafting, it's a profession. We need experts, like we need experts in AI as well as smart technologies. Currently, the retired lawyers, they are all in the DOJ. I've been asking for the government to outsource the work so that we can nurture talents. Fourthly, the self-regulatory mechanism cannot guarantee the quality of graduates of law schools. Well, universities enjoy autonomy and freedom. So many young lawyers have been telling me that they think what they learned in schools does not apply in the market. So we've been talking about having a qualification exam, but it's been over a decade and we're still not seeing this exam. I've been talking to the government about offering the relevant training for young lawyers, and this has been ignored. Last week in my oral question, I mentioned that members of this council have to act as check and balances. I so submit. Thank you.
Mr. Duncan Chiu. Thank you, President. I speak in support of Mr. Sunny Tan's motion and the amendment moved by Mr. Erik YIM. I agree with Mr. Sunny TAN. I agree that we play a very important role in the high quality going global of mainland enterprises. I've been in touch with a lot of different enterprises from the mainland. In fact, mainland enterprises will have to go global, otherwise they will be weeded out. A lot of industries understand that they need to go global. But where does the demand lie? Not just Hong Kong, but actually on the mainland there are a lot of SMEs that want to go global. For SMEs in the mainland, they are very large-scale companies. Well, I can say that they are developing companies. They may be worth hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars in the stock market. They are performing very well, but they are just serving the mainland market. So when it comes to going global, indeed there is a demand. But when it comes to resources, manpower, network, they may not have all the resources required. So for these SMEs that are actually performing very well but lesser known, Hong Kong may be able to provide value-added services to these enterprises. There are success examples in the market, and they serve as examples. For these enterprises going global, I have conducted statistics or conducted surveys. I asked them how Hong Kong could help them. When it comes to standards or professional services, products, Hong Kong can help these enterprises when it comes to the standardization of products and services. In mainland China, there's a very high standard. But in the mainland market, these standards may not be exactly the same as the national standards. A lot of work has to be done before these products or services could go global, say the design of products. And this is exactly where Hong Kong can help. Hong Kong may also provide assistance in relation to financing. The stock market is very buoyant. This will help mainland enterprises that want to go global. Next, on manpower or talents. In Hong Kong, we have a lot of businessmen, entrepreneurs that have a global personal network. In the past decade or so, there are a lot of entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial teams in Hong Kong. Government statistics mention we have a total of 4,000 odd startups. Of course, not all of them are successful. They may have conducted business, developed their products, set up their own companies for a certain period of time. They may also take part in different international conventions or exhibitions, rather. Not necessarily all of them will become unicorns. Some of them have to change the nature of their products or the direction of the company's development. They're very young entrepreneurs. They are in Cyberport, they are in Hong Kong Science and Technology Park. They have accumulated a lot of experience. If we provide matching services, I believe this will be a win-win situation. Entrepreneurs will be incentivized, and mainland enterprises will also be able to go global with the assistance of Hong Kong. I'm a president of an association on internet and on INT. We provide a lot of matching services. We want to help local entrepreneurs as well as mainland enterprises that want to go global. We want to bring them together so that we can achieve a win-win situation. I look forward to more exhibitions or matching activities that can help local entrepreneurs as well as mainland enterprises. I hope there will be better collaboration among us. Thank you. Mr. Kenneth Leung. We practice free trade in Hong Kong. Under the Basic Law, we are the freest economy and the most open economy around the world. In Hong Kong, we go global and we also attract enterprises to come to Hong Kong. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving this motion so that we can discuss how SMEs can leverage on equality productive forces to dovetail into the development direction of the country so that we can make contributions to the country. Over 52 million enterprise SMEs are in mainland China. They make a lot of contributions to national GDP, say 60% to GDP, and so on. Our country has been encouraging enterprises to go global. This will expand our supply chain or product chain in overseas market, and this will also lower market risks. There are different activities or policy initiatives to promote the going global strategy in mainland China. We need to seize upon this opportunity so that mainland enterprises or SMEs will use Hong Kong as a springboard to go global. We need to attract mainland enterprises to come to Hong Kong so that they will be able to add value before they go global. This will underscore the position of Hong Kong as a super value adder. Our position as an international financial center will further help mainland enterprises. Our common law system will also help them. The Hong Kong Productivity Council, Hong Kong PC, set up Hong Kong Cradle. In May, Hong Kong Exchange also launched TAC. I believe this will render assistance to SMEs so that they will enjoy assistance on a one-stop shop or a one-stop platform. This will help mainland enterprises that want to go global. We can also benefit ourselves. We need to enhance our role as a bridging role. We are a super connector. We need to go global together with mainland enterprises. Actually, not all SMEs or micro enterprises are able to go global on their own. So we need to leverage on our role to help mainland brands to go global. We have a digital economy. Overseas commerce has become more common and easier. We need to keep pace with the times. We need to seize upon opportunities in Belt and Road countries. According to the government, from Hong Kong to Europe, external trade has increased by 20%. The East is emerging. We need to help SMEs to gain a foothold in the market. Say we need to set up a platform for SMEs so that they will enjoy services on a one-stop platform. Services may cover financial services or market information. SMEs may be brought together to take part in different exhibitions. This will help them enhance their competitive edge or competitiveness. Hong Kong plays a bridging role. We need to have a good understanding of overseas market. We also need to train local talents so that they will have a better understanding of the overseas landscape. We need to help young people in Hong Kong to improve their linguistic proficiency so that they will have the conditions or the qualities required to help mainland enterprises to go global. SMEs are very important to the local economy. We need to help mainland enterprises to go global in tandem with local SMEs as well. This will bring opportunities to the economy of Hong Kong. I support the motion. Dr. Johnny Ng. Thank you, President. SMEs make up over 98% of all business units in Hong Kong. They play a very important role in Hong Kong. SMEs are key to the stability and prosperity of Hong Kong. Geopolitical tensions are mounting all over the world. It is important to see how we can help local SMEs to enhance their competitiveness. The 14th five-year plan of our country pointed out that we need to pursue high-quality development, and Hong Kong should dovetail into the national development. These are unprecedented opportunities for local SMEs. We need to seize upon these opportunities to rise to the occasion and challenges. There are over 50 million SMEs in the mainland. Quite a lot of SMEs are moving towards internationalization and high-quality going global tactic. We are a highly internationalized city. We have different strengths so that we can help mainland enterprises to go global. In the process of globalization, we attach a lot of importance to technological innovation, compliance, as well as innovation. This is exactly how we can achieve sustainability or sustainable development, rather. We need to change from cost-driven to technology-driven. That's exactly how we can gain a foothold in the market. The chief executive visited Southeast Asian countries as well as ASEAN. In 2023, the chief executive visited Saudi Arabia in February 2023. The CE also visited Qatar and Kuwait. We need to counter the impact of unilateralism and hegemony. We need to seek more opportunities. Hong Kong has a mature financial system. We have an international legal environment as well as a Web3 policy initiatives in addition to free capital flow. All these make Hong Kong a good platform for different enterprises to enter the Middle East market. We should enhance our role as a super connector and a super value adder. There are a lot of global changes. We need to make good use of our strengths. We need to drive the development of INT and FinTech. We also need to further develop AI, Web3, and so on. These are new opportunities brought about by INT development in Hong Kong. We need to add impetus to the local economy so that we can move towards the highest end of the technological spectrum all over the world. We need to help our country to have a better say all around the world. We also need to help SMEs to enhance their competitiveness. I believe we need to promote commercialization so that SMEs will further develop themselves. In the future, we need to keep enhancing the ecosystem of INT, upstream, midstream, and downstream. At different levels, we need to promote different types of development as well, say commercialization, industrial development, as well as promoting the benefits that could be brought to society. The upgrading and transformation of traditional industries will also help the local economy. In the long run, we need to make good use of our own strengths of one country, two systems. We also need to drive the development of INT and professional services. We need to set up an SME going global support center, for instance, so that we can provide a one-stop shop for local and mainland SMEs. We also need to enhance our liaison with mainland counterparts so that we can dovetail into the going global strategy of mainland China. I so submit. Thank you.
Mr. Ron Chen. President, I support Mr. Sunny Tan's motion. SMEs are a crucial part of any economy. The definition varies from Hong Kong to the mainland when it comes to SMEs. Now for Hong Kong, we're talking about fewer enterprises hiring fewer than 100 or 50 people, depending on whether it's manufacturing or not. But then for mainland SMEs, they may be hiring tens of thousands of people. Now in terms of business turnover, we're talking about business turnover over $50 million. But for the mainland, it's a business with a business turnover between $500,000 to 200 million yuan. In any case, we're talking about businesses that add vitality to the economy. Our country is taking forward new quality productive forces, and that means new unprecedented opportunities for SMEs. New quality productive forces are by no means the preserve of large-scale tech firms. SMEs can also play a role. They can go green, they can become more resilient, and achieve sustainable development. Both the mainland and Hong Kong have rolled out targeted incentives such as subsidies for use of technology that cut the costs for SMEs in using cloud computing tech platforms. But we also need an accreditation system for new quality productive forces. Such accreditation can enhance the reputation of those SMEs, and those businesses can set an example and more SMEs will follow. A better ecosystem can also foster synergistic development and bring more mainland SMEs to Hong Kong. Hong Kong should leverage its strength in professional services, legal advisory services, and the merging of resources so that we provide a better environment. We have the Hong Kong Productivity Council, the HKTDC, and Invest Hong Kong. Let's consolidate the resources. Let's work with the mainland so that we offer technical assessment, analysis of overseas policies, and also financing. Let's create this one-stop platform. Let's cut down the costs and overcome the barriers for mainland businesses. And let's also get the successful SMEs from the mainland that have gone global to share their success stories that can make life easier for SMEs seeking to go global. Hong Kong is a well-established financial center. We can provide hedging tools. Let's make use of the Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation, and we can also use MNC services and provide different insurance options. Investing overseas also comes with currency exchange risks. We have a wide variety of hedging tools. We have currency swaps, futures, etc., and that offers basic protection for mainland businesses seeking to go global. There are financing options for mainland businesses. There's a financial market, there are bank loans, and also venture capital. Now, for smaller businesses from the mainland, those operate at a smaller scale, they don't have enough collateral, we don't have the full credit history. And financial institutions may hesitate to lend to these smaller businesses. That's why we need more targeted measures. Regulators should encourage financial institutions to offer smaller loans to smaller businesses from the mainland. Let's also offer tax breaks for these smaller firms. Financial institutions should also consider the challenges for smaller businesses in developing new quality productive forces and develop more products for them, such as IP-based loans and also other loans based on these smaller businesses' needs. New quality productive forces are key to economic transformation and new quality productive forces. So let's give full play to our strength and make the most of the SMEs on both sides of the boundary, and that can help us play our role as a bridge. I support the motion and the amendments. Mr. Chen Xiu-Hong. President, I support Mr. Sunny Tan's motion and Mr. Erik Yim's amendment. We have more than 360,000 small and medium enterprises, and they make up 98% of all business entities in Hong Kong. They cover all industries. They are pillars of our economy. SMEs also provide most of the jobs of the market, and they hire 45% of the people in the private sector. They provide jobs for 1.28 million people in Hong Kong. The upgrading and transformation of SMEs will require more than just support policies. We have to tap into our impetus for growth, and that's how we can become a bridge for different parties. There are more than 50 million SMEs with potential from the mainland. These firms want to go global. They don't just want to sell things overseas. They are also after brands, technologies, standards, and management models. The HKTDC had a survey last year. 94% of the mainland firms surveyed said they struggled with financing, marketing, and other geopolitical problems. 77% of the respondents said they wanted to come to Hong Kong for professional services such as marketing, risk management, etc. That shows for these mainland firms seeking value adding, Hong Kong remains a premier destination. Hong Kong has the unique status and advantages of one country, two systems. We have an internationalized financial system, a robust legal system. We offer risk management options, testing, standards, accreditation, supply chain management, and marketing. We have well-established services. We also have global networks. Our country has a development strategy. Our mainland firms also have their needs. This is where Hong Kong can serve as a super value adder and super connector. Let's make good use of our strength. Let's help Hong Kong and mainland firms go global together. At a more macro level, the SCR government needs to integrate new quality productive forces into its industrial policies. Now, SMEs want to make greater use of innovative products. So let's foster that process. Let's also make greater use and offer more tax breaks and subsidies and tax breaks for green technologies and other new technologies. Local SMEs struggle with resources as they seek to upgrade and transform. They need talent. They also need funding. They need other things. That's why the government rolled out the digital transformation pilot scheme. There's a one-to-one matching basis. For each SME, the subsidy is up to $50,000 for retail, tourism, personal services. The support is for adoption of e-payment, online customer services. The subsidy will cover off-the-shelf tax solutions. As of February this year, Cyberport has provided more than 100 digital solutions. There were more than 6,700 applications. 2,500 applications have been approved. SMEs that took part in the scheme found the use of digital solutions helpful in expanding their business and enhancing customer experience. The Hong Kong Monetary Fund also teamed up with the banking sector to offer different funding schemes in terms of credit services. Some banks signed up for this scheme. They offered fast-track loans to businesses. I welcome this package of measures from different perspectives in helping SMEs upgrade and transformation. Funding subsidies alone won't cut it. For businesses to expand elsewhere, they have to transform and upgrade themselves. They should make use of new technology, especially AI plus other technologies. They need more efficient, smarter, and more advanced service models, and that will lay the basis for their high-quality overseas ventures. I propose a one-stop service platform. Let's integrate different services, make good use of our business networks overseas, and let's make use of Invest Hong Kong and HKTDC's overseas networks so that we provide accurate market information overseas for local and mainland firms seeking to go global. Let's gather market information and protect intellectual property. Let's offer this whole range of support for those businesses. I so submit. Thank you. Dr. Tan Yueheng. Thank you, President. I support Mr. Sunny Tan's motion and Mr. Erik Yim's amendment. Small and medium enterprises make up 98% of Hong Kong's businesses. They hire 45% of the employees in the private sector. SMEs are the pillars of our economy. They play a crucial role in our economy. We have seen uncertainty because of tariffs over the past few months, and that brings huge challenges to SMEs. The U.S. ramped up their tariffs on other economies, and that fuels uncertainty. In April, SMEs saw a huge plunge in their business, and then the tensions eased. Now the environment has improved somewhat for SMEs, but then the tariffs can go either way over time, and that puts SMEs at risk of closure. Once the risk spreads, and there will be a knock-on effect on our economy. I support Mr. Sunny Tan's motion. on the use of technology to enhance the international competitiveness of SMEs, and I also support the idea that Hong Kong should play a bigger role as a super connector. Hong Kong firms and mainland businesses should team up and go global. So here are some ways we can seize the opportunities. First, let's make use of fintech to help mainland and Hong Kong businesses to go global. In recent years, Hong Kong has taken steps in terms of fintech, and the SCL government has also taken steps to foster breakthroughs in the technology. Research takes a long time, and it takes a long time to recoup the investment. So when you have a cross-boundary settlement, even when the currency used is not US dollars, the remittance has to be translated into US dollars before you can settle the transaction. Now, we recently passed the stablecoins bill, and that bill will take effect on the 1st of August. Stablecoins will provide a new solution. You tokenize the real-world assets, and you put that on the distributed ledger. You can use blockchain, which is highly transparent and offers instant settlement, and that will massively lower the cost of cross-boundary transactions, and that will mean faster transactions. All that will mean that for mainland and Hong Kong businesses seeking to go global, huge opportunities. So let's make use of the opportunities from our breakthroughs in fintech, and let's take forward measures on the multiple fronts. We need stronger financial infrastructure. We need prudent regulation. Let's drive innovation. Let's encourage financial institutions and businesses to come up with new products. And let's also use smart contracts and instant settlements to speed up cross-boundary transactions and settlements. We can also hold training sessions on stablecoin plus blockchain, and let's help SMEs find out the opportunities from stablecoins and fintech. And we can also use the BUD Fund to encourage SMEs to adopt stablecoins to enhance their cross-boundary payment process, so that SMEs can seize the opportunities that come from stablecoins. And let's also make use of the International Organization for Mediation, or IOMED. Hong Kong can play a role because we have an edge in international dispute resolution that can help SMEs resolve disputes as they go global. We can provide legal services to support them. And we can also offer training in legal knowledge for SMEs as they go global. And that can help SMEs navigate and manage risks and stand up for their rights. And we should also improve our platform for SMEs to put themselves in a better position to navigate tariffs, so that SMEs have an easier time tapping the ASEAN and Middle East markets. I so submit. I support the motion and the amendment.
Mr. Tang Fei, President, I speak in support of Mr. Sunny Tan's motion as well as Mr. Erik Yim's amendment. With the current global pattern and situation, revolution in technology is the trend. Now, SMEs in Hong Kong account for 98% of all enterprises in Hong Kong. It's an important source of our vitality. We've been talking about manpower problem, not to mention about new productive forces. To cope with this, apart from offering professional services, legal services, and financial services, I think we have to enhance our talents. We need to use talents to drive our enterprises. We can bring in talents, and apart from high-end talents, we need medium-ranking talents that are familiar with new productive forces. So we need to train up talents. Traditional training model, well, they are outdated, and also the cost is high. Also, it is not really in line with the rapid development of technologies. We need a comprehensive training system, be it the existing universities or VTC, as well as courses or programs offered at the secondary level. We need a comprehensive framework to upskill SME staff, we need a comprehensive VPAT training system. For example, we need training on e-commerce marketing, business operation, data analysis, use of AI tools, etc. All these refer to new productive forces or the skills relevant. We can make use of the continuous education fund to lower the cost to train up staff for SMEs so that frontline staff can make the best use of the resources to quickly grasp the skills that they need to adopt technologies. This is the latest reform that has been happening recently. And this is a very good experience. This should be promoted to all VPAT institutions and the relevant frameworks. We need to have talents to drive the upgrading of enterprises. Also, we need to train up SMEs so that they are more forward-looking. While specializing in a certain type of skills is not necessarily useless, for the new generation of students, they do not have the so-called baggage. We can equip them to acquire high-end skills. This will allow them to earn high income, and they can earn such income quickly. For the new generation of students, they do not have the baggage to acquire such skills. So we should integrate SMEs with training institutions so that when the training organizations design the relevant programs and courses, they can have the students take part in, for example, the design of the courses, and they can make use of real business projects as assignments for students. They can also offer internship opportunities to students so that students who graduate from these VPAT programs, they have the theoretical knowledge as well as operational skills to keep up with the development of the latest technology. In Singapore, the VPAT education, they offer services. For example, the president brought us to Southeast Asia on a duty visit. I noticed that they have ITE in Singapore, and they act as consultants for SMEs. They offer consultancy services to help SMEs upgrade and transform themselves. The Productivity Council in Hong Kong serves a similar role. However, we can do better in terms of offering training for SMEs. We can come up with restructuring proposals for them, and this will help them upgrade and transform themselves. All in all, upgrading and transformation of SMEs is a key step for us to enhance our productivity, and we need talents. I so submit. Thank you. Mr. Edmund Wong. Hong Kong is a top place in Asia Pacific. It is the most open and international financial center in our country. It can attract capital as well as enterprises, also professionals from different sectors. They all gather in Hong Kong, and this allows us to become a super connector. As we see the opening up of our country, as well as the development of the Belt and Road Initiative, with the current global pattern and situation, we can help SMEs go global and tap into emerging markets. How can we have Hong Kong and mainland enterprises work together, and how can we help mainland enterprises to go global? How can we ensure Hong Kong can become the super connector and super value adder? We have to seize the opportunities. We have different types of professionals, and in Hong Kong, we can work with mainland enterprises to go global and tap into overseas emerging markets. These talents, they are the most valuable assets and resources for us. Mr. Ambrose Lam talked about the legal sector, others talk about the financial sector. Our professional services are high quality and they are world-renowned. And there are deep connections between our professional services sector and the world. Our qualifications are internationally recognized. Take the accounting sector as an example. The PCA is the CPA is a member of the Global Accounting Alliance. That is, members of GAA can have their qualifications recognized in other places without having to go through exams. Accountants, they support the industrial and business sectors as well as the financial sector. Accountants in Hong Kong, they can offer professional auditing services related to ESG as well as disclosure of information for mainland enterprises. This is about the auditing services for disclosing information about climate. And this is an important factor for us to go global with mainland enterprises. How can we step up collaboration with the accounting sector in the GBA? Well, we have to work with the mainland enterprises to tap into the overseas market. We have to make use of the Belt and Road Initiative. I've been pushing for the development of accounting services in Hong Kong. I am a chairman of the GBA Accounting Association in Hong Kong. Together with 9 cities in the mainland, well, I've been visiting these 9 cities to look for collaboration opportunities. However, currently, Hong Kong accountants, if they want to practice in the mainland, there are many hurdles. I hope that the SAR government can strive to work with the mainland authorities to set up a practicing or licensing exam system so that Hong Kong accountants can practice in the 9 GBA cities and that they can serve as partners in accounting firms. This will promote exchanges between the accounting sectors of Hong Kong and the mainland, and this will also allow the accounting sector in Hong Kong to take part in the development of our country. And together we can contribute more to our country. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving this motion. This is about how the professional service sectors of Hong Kong and mainland can work together to tap into the overseas market. I so submit. I support the motion. Mr. Kenneth Fogg. Thank you, President. With a rapid change in the global situation, we have to think about how we can promote the domestic and international dual circulation. Last month, the chief executive led a delegation to a visit to 2 Middle Eastern countries. I was fortunate to be part of the delegation. The CE invited some leading enterprises to participate in the visit, and this shows our role as the connector between the mainland as well as the world. Mr. Sunny TAN said we have to make use of our professional services to have greater collaboration with the mainland. Last year, the import-export value of Shanghai enterprises account for 1/3 of foreign trade of the whole city, which involves about 144 million RMB. And last year, our figure stood at about $9.46 trillion. So we are a new force in the international market. There are many policies. For example, there are policies in the mainland to help SMEs to go global. Some SMEs in the mainland, they are leading enterprises in the provincial level or the municipal level, and they have great demand to go global. Well, to put this into action, this is quite complicated. We have to consider the international market as well as the environment. There are challenges. For example, there are differences between the laws and regulations of different places. We have to take into consideration IP protection as well as the international supply chain. There are challenges in all these areas. I want to focus on the challenges in terms of trawling for talents for giant enterprises in the mainland. If they want to become international and they want to go global, they have been finding it hard to look for the right talent, not to mention SMEs. They must face more challenges in this regard. Over the past few years in the mainland, there has been a collaborative model between the academic sector, the industry, as well as the research sector. From the Hong Kong perspective, the third plenum session supports Hong Kong to be an international hub for high caliber talent. We are the only place in Asia with 5 top 100 universities. And we also have set up the UAS Alliance. We definitely have the ability to nurture more talents. We have language courses provided by universities. We also have courses about professional services. We have to, however, better consolidate these courses and programs. In this year's 2 session, I submitted a proposal about how we can make use of the regional talents. I think moving forward, we can learn from large-scale enterprises as well as the other enterprises in the mainland. We can set up demonstration and practice spaces. We can have postdoctoral working station as well as mobile stations for enterprises. We can have research units of universities. Working with enterprises. They can explore together how they can go global. In these areas, I think Hong Kong can play a unique role and proactively work with schools and enterprises in the mainland so that we can help them go global and we can go global together. I support the motion.
Dr. Starry Lee. Thank you, President. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving this motion so that we can discuss stimulating the vigorous development of local SMEs and the going global of mainland enterprises. SMEs in Hong Kong make up over 98% of all business units in Hong Kong. These employees account for about 43 to 45% of the total private sector workforce. We need to dovetail with our country's high-quality going global strategy so that we can help local SMEs to go global. We can also make greater economic contributions to the country. According to a report of Going Global in mainland China, China has been maintaining growth for 10 years in a row. We have a huge amount of direct outward investment. The GBA has become an important engine for enterprises to go global. Over $23.8 billion of direct investment outwards were seen in 2019, up by 18.3%, and that accounted for about 2.3% of our country's figure. Going global has become a must for mainland enterprises. Hong Kong is a bridge between the mainland market and overseas markets. Hong Kong provides professional services in a comprehensive manner for mainland enterprises that want to go global. We help these enterprises to know more about international market rules, and we also provide professional advice. Based on evaluations or assessments, we provide targeted market services. We also help enterprises to devise specifications or standards that are in alignment with the international ones. In the process of going global, mainland enterprises face a lot of challenges. These enterprises want Hong Kong enterprises to help them to go global. We need to take into account the policies in the countries that mainland enterprises want to go global or set headquarters in. there are many challenges, and all these bring a lot of new opportunities for Hong Kong. We provide services in these key areas. I propose to continue for Hong Kong to leverage on its role as a superconnector and super value adder. Hong Kong is positioned as an international high caliber talent base or hub. We need to work with Nansha, Qianhai, Hengqin to work together. We need to provide recruitment assistance for enterprises that want to go global. At the same time, the Hong Kong government needs to be on the offensive to work with the mainland counterparts. We need to have a flexible manpower flow mechanism. Different factors are at play, such as taxation and so on. I hope the Standing Committee will address these issues. When it comes to going global together with mainland enterprises, the legal profession, accounting profession, we are no strangers to these professions. As I understand, different enterprises require assistance in marketing, promotion, alignment with international standards, and so on. Beijing, Shanghai, these are key cities where enterprises set up headquarters. We can attract them to come to Hong Kong to set up a presence so that they can enjoy the professional services provided by Hong Kong. Certification, standard testing, marketing, promotion. Hong Kong can provide these services to help mainland enterprises to go global together. We may invite mainland enterprises to establish a presence in Hong Kong. I hope you will consider my proposals. Thank you. Dr. Kennedy Wong. I speak in support of Mr. Sunny Tan's motion. SMEs are the backbone of the local economy. They make up over 98% of all business units in Hong Kong. They provide about half of the workforce in Hong Kong with job opportunities. There are global changes, however. There is also upgrading of different industries as well as the development of new quality productive forces. How can we turn our strength into better account? This is a very important issue that we must study. The Hong Kong government has launched a number of measures to support SMEs in Hong Kong, including Bud Fund, Marketing Fund, New Industrialization Funding Scheme, different financing guarantee scheme, and so on. But we do need to seek breakthroughs. We need to think out of the box. We also need to move towards new directions in order to enhance our competitiveness. When it comes to financial innovation, I believe we need to draw reference from the former chief executive of the Hong Kong X. We need to draw reference from the model used in Macau. Capital was introduced for local SME and micro enterprises. In the exchange of Macau, close to 4 billion RMB was raised, providing assistance to as many as 10,000 enterprises in Macau. Hong Kong is an international financial center. Traditionally, we provide financing services for larger enterprises. But in the current situation, the financing needs of SMEs is burgeoning as well. That's exactly why we need to draw reference from the operational model of this platform. We need to look into new models to provide new financing options for SMEs. We need to better cater for the demand of SMEs when it comes to financing. We also need to enhance the liquidity of SMEs for mainland enterprises to go global, either to ASEAN, Belt and Road countries, Middle East. These are the best partners for mainland enterprises. If they want to be listed in Hong Kong, they need to have connections with Hong Kong. They also need to invest a certain amount of resources in Hong Kong. We need to provide more straightforward options for mainland enterprises to work with different chambers of commerce in Hong Kong. For instance, apart from local members, we need to help GBA enterprises to become members in Hong Kong as well. We need to enhance collaboration to go global together with mainland enterprises. We need to help GBA enterprises to go global as well. In the context of intellectual property, supply chain management, property financing, mainland enterprises may use the professional services provided by Hong Kong too. The Hong Kong TDC has over 50 offices around the world. They promote Hong Kong as an international trade center to help Hong Kong to open up different overseas markets. However, if these offices may render assistance to mainland enterprises as well, especially when it comes to international marketing, using international certification advantages of Hong Kong, I believe there's a lot of room for cooperation between mainland and Hong Kong. We need to drive innovative transformation. We need to deepen our collaboration with mainland China. I believe there will definitely be more room for development for local enterprises as well as mainland enterprises. That is exactly how we can seek breakthroughs in the ever-changing global landscape. I so submit I speak in support of the motion and the amendment. Professor William Wong. In the World Competitive Report 2025, Hong Kong ranks 3rd all around the world. So we can see that we're highly competitive in accordance with the World Competitiveness Yearbook. A lot of SMEs provide support to Hong Kong. They are the backbone. They account for 98.5% of all business units in Hong Kong. There are over 360,000 SMEs in Hong Kong, and there are also over 50 million SMEs in the mainland. Hong Kong is highly internationalized. That's why we are a super connector. We need to help different mainland enterprises to seek more business opportunities. Mr. Sunny TAN mentioned that we need to use new quality productive forces to help SMEs to go global. I go along with this idea. I will propose 3 ideas from the perspective of INT. First, we need to drive the development of new quality productive forces in Hong Kong. SMEs are quite conservative about the use of these forces. Take retail and the F&B industries as examples. They don't widely adopt the e-payment system. They only introduced these e-payment options when a lot of mainland visitors visited Hong Kong. This shows a lot of SMEs in Hong Kong do not keep their mind open, especially in the realm of AI, artificial intelligence. They aren't well up in this area enough. AI plays a very important role. We need to have an AI plus strategy or plan. We need to promote the widespread use of AI. For local SMEs, we need to start with Hong Kong Guide V1. This AI system or model is developed by Hong Kong. It will be open for the public for testing soon. The government needs to help SMEs to devise testing models. This will help local enterprises to enhance operational efficiency. This will also help them enhance efficiency and competitiveness. We need to enhance collaboration between local SMEs and the mainland ones. We need to develop cross-boundary INT chain between Hong Kong and mainland China. This is exactly the strategy we need to adopt as an international INT center. A lot of SMEs attach a lot of importance to INT. Different cities in the GBA should redouble their efforts to draw up regulations when it comes to AI or the flow of capital and manpower. We need to make good use of the soft power of Hong Kong to help different enterprises in the mainland to go global. According to WIPO, in 2024, the World Innovation Index Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Guangzhou ranked second for 5 years in a row. This shows the strengths of these cities. We need to make good use of the research capability of local universities as well as research capabilities. Hong Kong has a comprehensive financial and legal service standard and system. We need to turn our strengths into better account to enhance the competitiveness of the GBA. I speak in support of the motion and the amendment.
Ms. Eunice Young. Madam Deputy, I support Mr. Sunny TAN's motion and Mr. Erik YIM's amendment. Small and medium enterprises are crucial to our economy. These SMEs make up 95% of businesses in Hong Kong. They also provide many jobs in the private sector. As other members have said, in the 2025 World Competitiveness Yearbook, we have risen by 2 spots to the 3rd place globally in terms of global competitiveness. That reassures our SMEs and that also provides motivation for SMEs. So how do we better play our role as a super connector? There are 2 things we can do. One, let's bring mainland SMEs to Hong Kong to expand their business. The second point is that Hong Kong SMEs should team up with their mainland counterparts to go global together as they tap those markets. That's how we can foster the two-way flow of resources. Money should stay in the pockets of SMEs and in Hong Kong. That will be part of a virtuous cycle. Many mainland businesses are listed on Hong Kong's stock exchange, and that points to the appeal of Hong Kong as an international financial center, and this can also foster offshore RMB and also the development of stable coins. All those developments lay a solid basis for such trends. Now, the government has been working on fostering industrial upgrading, and that includes new quality productive forces and industrial policies. There are different funds for INT. There are also tax breaks. All that encourages the use of AI and blockchain by SMEs. The government should provide technical support, advisory services, and planning for going digital. This will drive down the cost for transformation for SMEs, and that can help industries upgrade and transform so that they become more globally competitive. One country, 2 systems is our unique strength. Hong Kong is the freest economy across the globe. The government should constantly enhance its business policies. Let's work with the mainland more closely in convergence and cooperation. Let's tear down the barriers in cross-boundary operation. In industrial development and planning, professional services should be a priority. In financial services, legal and dispute resolution services, accounting, auditing, testings and standards, and supply chain management, we are a global leader. So we should explore new channels and develop new industries. Let's look at green economy, the circular economy. Let's also encourage SMEs to take part in the R&D of new energy technologies. Let's also tap into quantum technology and the metaverse, which are emerging fields. Let's set up dedicated industrial parks so that we provide cheap office space for the businesses and also R&D support. Hopefully that can become a new area of growth for us. Now, on testing and accreditation as well as synergistic development, I've done my own research. I hope the government can give thought to new accreditation systems such as halal accreditation systems. This can help us to serve as a bridge with the Islamic world. We want to develop our professional services. All that I've suggested will be positive for us. Our exports to Muslim countries have gone up. In 2020, it was $2.7 billion. Last year, it was $5.4 billion. Now, for re-exports to Muslim countries, the volume of goods went up from $177 billion to more than $200 billion. That shows there's demand for our halal product. So as a next step, let's standardize our halal accreditation standards and let's go for mutual recognition systems and let's extend the coverage to pharmaceutical products and fashion so that we can become a halal accreditation hub. Now, to tap more business opportunities, we will need a regular communication mechanism for mainland and Hong Kong businesses to work together. And that covers the Belt and Road Initiative, the Greater Bay Area, and also our sub-regional comprehensive economic partnership, so that we can reap the benefits of those benefits and achieve win-win outcomes. I support the motion. Mr. Andrew Lam. Thank you, Madam Deputy. I start by thanking Mr. Sunny TAN for his motion. President Xi Jinping argued that we should develop new quality productive forces to achieve high quality development for our country. The thing that stands out about new quality productive forces is that it covers new technology, new business models, and also management as well as institutions. Institutional breakthroughs cover the government and the market. We need new systems so that they provide robust protection for innovation. Institutional breakthroughs are crucial to resolving challenges for businesses. The HKTDC did a survey last year. 90% of the businesses surveyed said they had plans to go global in the next 1 to 3 years. But in that process, market demand would be hard to gauge, financing would be a challenge, geopolitics would be another problem. Hong Kong is an international financial center. We have a huge and well-developed financial market. We have a well-established legal system. Mainland businesses can come here to manage their currency exchange risks. Hong Kong is home to first-rate legal, accounting, and business advisory services and talent. We can offer services in compliance, auditing, and marketing. We offer professional services, and that helps mainland businesses navigate the complex international legal rules and systems. 77% of the businesses surveyed said they would come to Hong Kong for our professional support services, and this level is way above their willingness to go to other places. And that points to the unique value of Hong Kong's to the mainland businesses. We are the mainland businesses' first choice. The Hong Kong Export Credit Insurance Corporation has always been providing export credit insurance for exporters that helps to mitigate the risks of not receiving payment. Securing orders and on more competitive terms and getting more overseas buyers can help support our export business. Export credit insurance can help businesses deal with risks of cash flow and bad debt. But in emerging markets, they are an unknown quantity. Businesses know little about them. In the past, the US and Europe were our primary markets. Our professional services were good enough for those markets. But given the current economic landscape, mainland businesses are struggling with a weaker domestic market and also a complicated global landscape. And that makes tapping the Belt and Road market a key way forward. Those countries are different from the markets we are familiar with, and that means full of uncertainty in the Belt and Road countries. So businesses going to those markets are on their own. That's why firms struggle. The HKTDC has overseas offices. Those offices provide local support for businesses. Those offices also provide market research. Hong Kong still has a long way to go in training talent well-versed in the Belt and Road countries. We want talent from those countries to come here to take up jobs and students from those countries to come here for studies. With a large pool of specialists well-versed in the culture and systems of Belt and Road countries, we will be in a better position and we will have a better time helping mainland firms tap into those emerging markets. So 3 things we have to bear in mind. 1, cultural familiarity. This will help businesses understand and adapt to the business environment of those emerging markets. 2, stronger capability in risk management. That's how we can help businesses devise management models that can better adapt to local market. 3, we should help businesses find business partners in those countries so that they can implement their projects. With the new landscape, there are new opportunities and new risks. We will need a new talent system on our side so that we can meet the needs of businesses seeking to go global, so that we can implement this strategy involving new quality productive forces. I support the motion and the amendment. Dr. Wendy Hong. Madam Deputy, Mr. Sunny Tan's motion raises a key issue. Globalization has reached a new stage. Mainland businesses are seeking to go global en masse. Those businesses cover not just the big players, but also the medium-sized firms. There's a saying, you either go global or go under. So what's Hong Kong's role in this process? You either go global or go under. That applies to Hong Kong's firms. Hong Kong has always been part of the bigger market. But we are more familiar with the traditional US and European markets. But now we have to start afresh because we have to work with mainland businesses who tap the Southeast Asian, Middle Eastern, and also African markets. Those are emerging markets. So here, Hong Kong will be more than just a platform. We will be working with mainland businesses along the way. We will be a part of this outward circulation. We will have to help to reach out to clients, work on orders, we provide financial services. And we have to work on both sides of the supply chain so that we facilitate, we take part in the process and remain a partner throughout the process. And that's how we can find a new source of impetus. I want to cite an example to illustrate my point. Now, I am an independent director of this company. Let's call this company C. It's an aircraft financing and leasing company. Company C achieved 2 breakthroughs over the past decade. It went beyond just aircraft leasing and financing. 1, integrating financing and industry. This company set up aircraft leasing platforms in different places and also extended to the real part of the aircraft financing process, aircraft dismantling, aircraft maintenance, and sale of second-hand aircraft parts. So there's the buying, selling, maintenance, modification, and replacement of aircraft parts. So now this company becomes a supplier of the entire aircraft industry chain. The second breakthrough is that this company is now working with COMAC. It's helping mainland airlines and aircraft makers go global. Now, Airbus and Boeing have long dominated the global aircraft industry. So Company C bought an Indonesian aircraft maker, and that Indonesian company becomes the first demonstration company for our national aircraft makers. C919, our first homegrown company, was delivered to this company in Indonesia. So there is certification, talent training. This company, Company C, works on the entire supply chain. So now our homemade planes can play a role and go global. Company C provides a replicable model for mainland firms to go global. And this can also enhance the performance of planes made in China. And that creates new room for our country's development. Company C now comes up with tailor-made financing model for our country's aircraft makers, meeting the needs of those companies across the process. And for that Indonesian company, Company C also provides a full range of services so that the Indonesian company becomes more resilient in the face of risks. Company C has also helped promote the internationalization of offshore RMB. So you can see Company C has achieved something of strategic importance, and it has also expanded its own business. Mainland businesses are listed in Hong Kong so that overseas investors can invest in mainland businesses through Hong Kong. When China's capital goes global, let's also get Belt and Road countries' businesses to come here so that China's capital can get involved, and that's how we can help our country's capital go global. I so submit.
Dr. Chow Meng Kong, Deputy President. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for the motion and Mr. Erik YIM for the amendment. Many SMEs, in terms of electrical appliances as well as telecommunications, they offer very cheap services and products. With the Hong Kong brand, we can work with mainland enterprises in a complementarity manner. We are a bridgehead to help enterprises go global. As mentioned, there are enterprises engaging in businesses in electrical appliances, technology, telecommunications, as well as automobile. We can leverage Hong Kong SMEs to help these services go global. We can also attract capital, and we can be innovative and leverage our strengths to help expand the room for development of Hong Kong SMEs. Earlier, I went to Dongguan, and I visited this park that is built by the students as well as the scholars there. The innovation space there consists of a few blocks and with 80 some brands established there, and they offer incubation as well as research services and marketing services. According to my observation and experience, I think in order for SMEs to be competitive, there are 3 keys. First, in terms of R&D, they have to devote resources into it. Secondly, they need financing. Thirdly, there needs to be a platform for marketing products. In this regard, local SMEs with potential and aspirations, they can work on these areas. I have 3 suggestions for the government. First, we have to speed up the transformation of R&D outcomes. We have to deepen the collaboration between the academia, industry, as well as the research sector. There can be a collaboration mechanism between schools and enterprises. For example, for R&D outcomes in the mainland, we can transform them here. In last year's 3rd plenum session, we are encouraged to guide research institutes as well as post-secondary institutions to pass on technology outcomes to SMEs. In this regard, the mainland has achieved results. Take Zhejiang as an example. As at March 2023, there have been over 1,000 transformations of outcomes. In terms of R&D outcomes, we can also have authorization contracts for universities. For example, when SMEs get achievements in certification, we can lower the cost, and this will help lower the threshold for collaboration between SMEs and universities. Also, enterprises in the mainland are facing serious challenges, and there are comments that this is a result of a vicious competition. In order to give full play to Hong Kong's role, and in order to give full play to our role as a multinational supply chain management center, the SAR government should work with different organizations and chambers of commerce to bring quality enterprises to the mainland. Last week, I took part in an international automobile expo, and this expo brought together different new energy vehicles. Some achievements have been displayed. I'm glad to see that with the mainland technology and the professional services offered in Hong Kong, we're able to bring quality enterprises from the mainland to go global. I suggest that the TDC, the CEDB, as well as Hong Kong Invest can work with different clansmen associations as well as tech enterprises in the mainland to organize such expos. For example, there could be expos on automobiles, electrical appliances, as well as telecommunication technologies and services to help them expand into bigger markets. This will also help promote the convention industry in Hong Kong. This will also allow development in the IP sector. Like Mr. Sunny TAN said, this will ensure high-quality going global development. Professor Priscilla Leung. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of Mr. Sunny TAN's motion as well as Mr. Erik YIM's amendment. I'd like to focus on how we can actively dovetail with the country's high-quality going global strategy. President Xi said, if we do not go global, we will go under. That's a message for mainland enterprises. Mainland entrepreneurs have indicated their wish to go global. After 2017, a lot of these enterprises have been to the Belt and Road countries. However, some of them suffered because of breach of contracts. For large-scale infrastructure projects, when there is a breach of contract, there is no guarantee for the saving of the capital. So we have to protect our enterprises as we help them go global. Well, you can pay certain prices for going global, but you have to ensure profit at the same time. For Belt and Road countries, in terms of culture, religion, politics, legal system, as well as their economic developments, they all vary in different Belt and Road countries. So how can we ensure enterprises an ease of mind when they go global? To dovetail with our country's high-quality development, I think Hong Kong can do a lot. We can go hand in hand with different parties. On the 5th of June, I went to Huangshan. I attended a forum about SIPA. Well, what can we sell? I think we can sell our system. We have just set up the IOMET. We told them the IOMET in Hong Kong is very attractive. For them, if they want to come to Hong Kong, they might want to seek help from the court to resolve disputes. Well, a lot of them shook their heads. No one feels confident about the courts in the Middle East or the Belt and Road countries. So we have to come up with a standard, and that standard has to be accepted by different parties. We want to be able to protect the investment made by different parties. Well, Singapore did a lot when their investors went to Suzhou Industrial Park. Now we have to protect our entrepreneurs as well. When we want to attract investment and capital, we have to tell them that there is a very good mediation system in Hong Kong. Our tribunals as well as courts, they are very reliable. We can communicate with them through different languages. To resolve disputes, what matters is whether the decision can be enforced. a court may make a ruling on a case, but it may not be enforceable. In Hong Kong, we have a very good system under one country, two systems, as well as a simple and low tax regime, and we have a free port, and we can guarantee success. China is a huge economy, and in Hong Kong we have a low tax system. We may have investors who are not from Hong Kong, but they may be involved in disputes related to mainland enterprises. There could be investors who are not from Hong Kong or the mainland, but still they can come to our court. And after our court has made a ruling, our country could support the ruling. I believe that this dispute resolution mechanism can ensure that any rulings can be enforced, and this is how we ensure confidence. For years, we have built this brand of judicial independence. I agree with what Mr. Ambrose Lam said. We do not have enough diversified talents in the legal sector. We want to be a restructuring center because we are a common law system, and the mainland wants to work with Hong Kong to go global, but we don't have enough talents here. So, Deputy President, I think we have to catch up so that we can seize the opportunity. I so submit. Thank you. Mr. Robert Lee. Thank you, Deputy President. SMEs are important pillars for Hong Kong's economy. Indeed, many small enterprises, they gradually grow to become big enterprises, like Hong Kong Stock Exchange. When they are listed, it was at $8.8. Now it goes up to $400 in terms of their value, and the capitalization stands at $500 billion. For Tencent, back then it was $6.2 billion. In 2014, after the restructuring, the stock prices went up to $2,500 and the capitalization stood at 4.6 trillion. SMEs account for 98% of all enterprises in Hong Kong. It provides job opportunities for 1.2 million people, and it offers 43% of employment opportunities for the entire labor market. Also, it all can offer customized services for clients. The government could help promote the development of SMEs, and by doing so, SMEs can provide high-quality services for the market. Today, I'd like to focus on improving the operational environment for SMEs in the financial service sector. Currently, the financial service sector in Hong Kong is performing quite well. However, there is an imbalance. If you look at new stock market for the first 5 months this year, 29 companies got listed. Compared to last year, during the same period, there was an increase of 38%. The IPO value also increased by twofold, and over 160 companies are now waiting to get listed in Hong Kong. If we look at the GEM, we do not have any new stocks that are listed. Currently, only 5 companies are making the application, and the applications are pending processing. For main board, we have 138 cases, and 18 of the companies have got the approval. Regulators as well as the government have proposed reform. For example, we can remove the compulsory return for GEM. If you look at 2017 and 2018, during the peak, every year 70 to 80 companies got listed on GEM. For security issuers as well as distributors, as well as lawyers and accountants that offer professional services, this is a huge business opportunity. We are some distance from the peak, and there is room for improvement. I think the government should speed up the launch of reform measures so that we can seize the opportunity with the return of Chinese concept stocks. We should attract more SMEs to get listed in Hong Kong so that there can be a sustainable development for our financial service sector. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is currently reviewing the distribution of new stocks in the market. I think the SAR government should consider having a better balance. We should have different types of investors, including retail investors as well as institutional investors. We should not neglect the importance of SMEs as well as retail investors in the market. I agree with what Mr. Erik YIM said. He said we should encourage SMEs to tap into the mainland market and integrate themselves into the GBA development. The government has led a number of delegations to the mainland. I think the government can help SMEs to tap into different opportunities. For example, there should be business matching services for SMEs. The government should facilitate SMEs to work with larger SMEs so that SMEs could see better development. All in all, I think SMEs are important and they contribute a lot to our economy in Hong Kong. I hope the SAR government can offer more help so that SMEs can upgrade and transform themselves. Thank you.
Mr. Rock Chen. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of Mr. Sunny Tan's motion and Mr. Erik Yim's amendment. Against the current backdrop of geopolitical tensions, we need to leverage on new quality productive forces. We need to help local SMEs to upgrade and transform. That is exactly how we can leverage our strengths of internationalization to help local and mainland enterprises to go global together. We also need to attract global resources to Hong Kong. That's how we can inject impetus to the local economy so that we can go global with mainland enterprises, so that we will see a new chapter. SMEs need to leverage on new quality productive forces. We have some of the world's best universities and we also have strong research capabilities, but the performance in relation to commercialization still needs to be improved. Total investment expenditure, total research expenditure only accounts for 1.1% of our GDP, far lower than 6.7% in Beijing and 6.4% in Shenzhen and 3.9% in Hangzhou. These figures show that the government needs to make more investments in I&T. We also need to attract talents from the US and from Europe to Hong Kong. We need to encourage universities to work with enterprises. We need to help these enterprises with commercialization of research results. Local SMEs need to make good use of I&T to improve their operational mode. In Zhejiang, small stores use DeepSeek, that is AI, to broadcast sales through live streaming in Arabic. That's how they expand the Middle East market. We need to draw reference from their practice and experience. We need to leverage experience to seek development and seize upon opportunities. Just now I touched upon how to use new quality productive forces to help local SMEs. So how exactly can they go global? In my opinion, we need to work with mainland enterprises. We need to go global together. Earlier on, the chief executive visited different countries with delegations. They went to the Middle East, and this is exactly a very good example. Mainland enterprises, be they state-owned enterprises or private enterprises, have a lot of demand for going global. However, in the process of going global, mainland enterprises aren't very familiar with the legal system, insurance market, or the consultation market in other destinations. That's why they are facing a lot of hurdles. Our legal system, accounting system, insurance market are in alignment with their international counterparts. That's how we can help these mainland enterprises. In the CNE exchange Q&A session last week, I suggested that we need to have an interfacing mechanism for mainland enterprises so that we can provide better support to local SMEs in Hong Kong. That's how we can provide interfacing in a targeted manner. We have a huge team of professionals in Hong Kong. For those who are well up in the Southeast Asian market or Middle Eastern market, there's still some room for improvement. That's why different SMEs need to improve. They need to look into the business environment, compliance, cultural characteristics of different markets. They need to groom more talents with an international vision. That's how we can expand the possible room for development for local enterprises. I speak in support of the motion and the amendment. Thank you. Dr. Hui Simon Lee. Thank you, Deputy President. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving this motion. We need to leverage on the role of Hong Kong to go global, to stay connected with the world. But we need to think how we can chart our way forward. There are a few issues under this motion. 1, new quality productive forces to dovetail with national development. 2, go global. 3, local enterprises in Hong Kong. We need to serve the core demands of our country. That's how we can give full play to our own advantages or strengths. We need to fully understand about our situation. We shouldn't just go global. We also need to attract foreign resources or talents to Hong Kong. We are a hub between the East and the West. We need to fully capitalize on our strengths in relation to financial and trade policies. That's exactly how we can pursue long-term development. In the past few decades, we play a very important role in the opening up of our country in the past few decades. When it comes to attracting foreign investments and foreign enterprises to go listed in Hong Kong, we have achieved quite a lot of results. There have been fundamental changes in the course of history. We not only attract enterprises to come to Hong Kong, we also need to go global. When it comes to industrial development, a lot of changes have taken place. A few years ago, we were still worried about a lot of technological breakthroughs and so on. But at present, we are developing our industries and investing in R&D. For a lot of key industries in Hong Kong, in the coming few years, there will be a lot of major breakthroughs in mainland China. China needs to provide more certainty for the global market. Our country has a strong desire to dovetail with the global development trend. Technologies, standards, systems, institutions, ideologies of mainland China, these play a very important role in the future development of Hong Kong. We need to take a look at the new energy sector. It's very buoyant in mainland China. It's leading the world. That's true when it comes to hardware. However, when it comes to software of soft energy, say management, standards, or green industries, we are still lagging behind. Europe is leading us. Hong Kong needs to give full play to our strengths and to combine the advantages of mainland China, that is hardware. This will bring a lot of opportunities for Hong Kong. And these opportunities are way more significant than those we have seen in the past. We need to have a good understanding of the situation we're in. We need to seize upon the opportunities. That's exactly how we can open up a new chapter in the future. Thank you. I so submit. Mr. Ma Fong Kwok. Thank you, Deputy President. I speak in support of the motion moved by Mr. Sunny TAN and the amendment moved by Mr. Erik YIM. This is a good opportunity for us to discuss SMEs and new quality productive forces. New quality productive forces are the talk of the town recently. But what do they cover? High-end aeronautical technology, AI, smart robots. Are they new quality productive forces? Yes, these are true. But they don't aim to replace traditional industries or technologies. We need to leverage on INT to enhance our capability for creation and efficiency. The term new quality productive forces first appeared in 2023 when President Xi Jinping visited Heilongjiang. It's a very important place when it comes to industries in mainland China. Agriculture has been a very important industry in mainland China. Farmers and peasants work very hard. People have a higher demand for foodstuffs. New quality productive forces play a very important role in the future development of China. When it comes to agriculture, new quality productive forces play a very important role in different stages. For the use of drones, automatic harvesting, and so on. All these are good examples of the use of new quality productive forces. Technologies have become automated from mechanical. We need to make better use of AI when it comes to culture and performing arts sector. We need to enhance cinematology using AI. A local director, Mr. Zhang, made good use of new quality productive forces. Technologies have been used to bring different masterpieces that are historically important to life. These technologies breathe life to different masterpieces. We need to make good use of technologies to improve and upgrade traditional industries. Say we need to go green, we need to go smart. Hong Kong has a lot of fast consumption food. In Hong Kong, we didn't attach much importance to high tech. The administration may be in the early stages of the use of AI, but this is actually a good starting point. We need to think how we can help different enterprises to stay afloat and to take more active part in national development. Hong Kong enterprises react very fast to different situations. They are resilient. This strength enables Hong Kong enterprises to work with mainland enterprises. We have a good network. We also have good marketing skills. We can help mainland enterprises to go global. President Donald Trump could interrupt the market all of a sudden. And this presents a good opportunity for local and mainland enterprises to go global together. Different units need to work together to reconsolidate resources. That's how we will have new industries that use high technology with good efficiency. I so submit. Thank you, Deputy President.
Dr. Lower Kwok. Madam Deputy, I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for my party. I also thank Mr. Erik YIM. I thank Mr. TAN for his motion and Mr. YIM for his amendment. SMEs make up 98% of our businesses. SMEs also provide 45% of the jobs in the private sector. That's why SMEs are so important to our economy. The mainland is also home to many SMEs. There, the SMEs urgently want to go global. SMEs from Hong Kong and those from the mainland have much to work together over in terms of complementing each other. Stronger collaboration will mean Hong Kong can strengthen its role as an international trading center. Hong Kong can also take part in the dual circulation of our country by teaming up with mainland SMEs. That's why I support the motion today. Indeed, the HKSL government should promote the upgrading and transformation of SMEs so that we become more competitive. And we should indeed get more mainland SMEs to come here so that our SMEs can team up with them in going global so that we can distinguish ourselves in this new economic landscape. Hong Kong is at the critical juncture of its economic transition. The government needs to redouble its effort in promoting the digital transformation of SMEs. Let's make use of our AI and green technology in developing new quality productive forces. We should make SMEs more efficient and more competitive. Now, specifically, there should be better support for SMEs, such as the SME Financing Guarantee Scheme and also the BUD Fund, so that we give greater support to businesses going global. Let's also streamline administrative procedures to remove restrictions so that we create a better business environment. That way, our businesses can get a head start in the market. Now, in terms of working with mainland businesses and taking part in the dual circulation, the second amendment to CEPA took effect in March this year, and that made it easier for Hong Kong SMEs to take part in the mainland market, and their Hong Kong businesses in the mainland can choose Hong Kong as the seat of arbitration, and this lowers business risks for Hong Kong. And that amendment also fosters mutual recognition of professional qualifications. The first batch of engineers got their professional post assessed and recognized in January this year, and that was a major breakthrough in the mutual recognition of professional posts. And this can help our financial and accounting professions to go to the mainland. This, in the end, can foster the two-way flow of talent so that Hong Kong can keep playing its role of bringing in and going global. And this can help Hong Kong businesses team up with their mainland counterparts to go global. We should also foster international collaboration to expand the presence of Hong Kong's brands in the overseas market. Support should be given to local SMEs to take part in expos so that they can promote their product. The SCL government should also work with the mainland authorities and professional bodies. Let's create a platform for Hong Kong businesses to work with their mainland counterparts to go global. They can go take part in more projects in the Belt and Road countries. Let's further expand the market share of Hong Kong's professional services in the global market so that we can diversify our risks. The SCL government should get more mainland businesses to come here to make Hong Kong the top choice for mainland businesses in going global. We have a well-established business network. We can provide professional services in accounting, financial services, and legal services. We can help mainland businesses go global so that they can operate in a compliant way. Let's foster partnerships between Hong Kong and mainland SMEs to go global. we can have cooperation zones for these businesses in Belt and Road countries so that we can create new supply chains and they can achieve a win-win outcome. I so submit the support of the motion and the amendment. Dr. Junius Ho. Madam Deputy, I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for his motion and Mr. Erik YIM for his amendment. The motion is on stimulating the vigorous development of Hong Kong's small and medium enterprises with new quality productive forces and actively dovetailing with the country's high-quality going global strategy. Mr. Ma Fong Kwok just explained the term new quality productive forces. That phrase came from the General Secretary during his visit to the province of Heilongjiang. The phrase came out in 2023. But I think not everyone has a full understanding of what this phrase really means. So I looked up the term on Google. So this involves the use of new technology, a technological revolution to achieve breakthroughs. New formulation is also needed for the factors of production. So new technology, new formulation, so that we can upgrade and transform industries. And then we will achieve a transformation in the quality. That's where the new quality comes from. New quality aside, we have revolutionary technology. We come up with new product. Quantity is also part of the equation. Now, we used to say critical mass. Once you hit a certain critical mass, the quality changes. But here, you need a new quality and new quantity. New quantity as in mass production, so that you can achieve economies of scale. I do not propose to go into detail about the SMEs. I want to focus on the legal sector. Indeed, it's a good idea, but how do we apply this concept to different sectors? I've been thinking about this. Let's look at our judicial system. We act in accordance with the law. We have the rule of law. But what does the rule of law mean? A dispute comes along, we set out, we clarify the right and obligation so that we offer relief to the people involved. You have the saying, justice delayed is justice denied. Delay makes everything else meaningless. Hong Kong offers speed and efficiency and quality. But when it comes to a lawsuit can drag on for 6 or 7 years. That's where we lose our edge. Of course, there's a reason for that. We're short of manpower. Our judges work in archaic ways. They stick to their robes. They still wear a wig. They resist new concepts. They were conservative. But our judges do have a sharp mind. Still, they're behind the curve. So how do we apply new quality productive forces to Hong Kong? How do we make sure that we don't just get old wine in a new wineskin? I'm glad to see the establishment of the International Organization for Mediation. Not every dispute ends up in litigation. Mediation offers a better option. You start with mediation. If that fails, you go to arbitration. And then if that fails, you go to litigation. So that's a new approach in the legal sector so that we can deal with the challenges of businesses and meet their needs. For businesses, going global, we can bring them back. It's fine for them to keep doing businesses elsewhere. So let's add new clauses to contracts. When those businesses get into a dispute, they can come here for dispute resolution, and that's how we can succeed. I so submit and support the motion. Mr. Benson Locke. Madam Deputy, I'm grateful to Mr. Sunny TAN for his motion on stimulating the vigorous development of Hong Kong's small and medium enterprises with new quality productive forces and actively dovetailing with the country's high-quality going global strategy. I also thank Mr. Erik YIM for his amendment. The global landscape is changing. Our country's strategy is to adopt a technology-driven, innovation-driven strategy so that we create stronger impetus for high-quality development. Hong Kong is a bridge. We should promote such productive forces, and we also have to integrate into our national development. Here, small and medium enterprises being a key part of the economy should embrace change. They should be core players in this process. New quality productive forces mean high technology, new models, new development. We now have AI, biomedicine, green energy. New quality productive forces also mean transformation and upgrading of traditional industry so that they go smart, they go green, and they become part of the new development. Hong Kong has 3 edges in promoting new quality productive forces. 1, transformation of scientific R&D outcomes. Let's make use of the strength of our country in R&D. And second, we are a financial hub. We can issue green bonds and new financing options to help SMEs raise money. Third, we are a super connector. We can leverage our country support, including support from the GBA, and connect that with the global market. Here are my suggestions for the government to consider. We need an aggressive strategy for attracting businesses and investment. We need a round-the-clock, one-stop service unit so that outside investors can go through all the steps within a short time and they can come here, invest here. Let's enhance the Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises and other teams and similar tasks. We need a better strategy. Let's bring the leading businesses in traditional industries so that we become a place for marketing, branding, fundraising, and also R&D. Hong Kong can play a role in two-way investment. Let's leverage our experience and networks so that mainland businesses can raise funds here. And we should expand our reach as a platform and expand our network so that more businesses use our services and foster collaboration. Let's also keep up with the latest development in international supply chains. Let's promote ESG and digital development in professional services. Let's get mainland firms to use our experience in branding, marketing, and also our global connections so that we offer high-quality services for businesses seeking to go global. Now, on funding support, the government should consider enhancing e-commerce easy and the Bud Fund. Let's expand the coverage from the ASEAN market to other markets. And let's also look at the work of our various financial regulators. There are firms at risk of collapse, but they still have a chance. Let's give them appropriate support. I so submit.
Mr. Michael Lee. Thank you, Deputy President. Hong Kong SMEs have been important pillars as well as the cornerstone of our economy. They account for 98% of all enterprises in Hong Kong. They play an important role in trade and services, and they offer many job opportunities for the local labor force. We've experienced 3 years of COVID. SMEs thought they could continue to operate, but with more people going abroad and fewer people going shopping in Hong Kong, the retail and catering sectors have been suffering. 70% of the SMEs surveyed said they see tight capital flow, and some enterprises said they have been finding it hard to get the capital they need, and they are in financial hardships. SMEs also face the challenges of keeping talents. We are entering an aging society. Large enterprises, they offer good remuneration packages. According to the manpower projection, our manpower gap will be increased to 180,000. With a lack of manpower, the Liberal Party thinks that the SMEs need to make use of INT to upgrade and transform themselves. They have to leverage their own advantages. According to survey, there are 50 million SMEs in the mainland with great potential. A number of SMEs, they have huge demand for going global and become international. Hong Kong is an international city, and we have mature financial sector as well as legal services. So we have to build a brand with our own characteristics. We also have to build an IP to protect our innovative outcomes to keep the value of our enterprises. As to how Hong Kong can serve as a bridge to promote deep collaboration between Hong Kong as well as mainland SMEs, we think that SAR government should set up subsidies as well as funds to support SMEs to upgrade and transform themselves. There could be more subsidies in terms of export credit insurance to lower the risks for SMEs to go global. For legal services, testing and certification, financial services, logistics and transport, we have advantages in these areas. We can offer one-stop solutions for SMEs through building cross-boundary e-commerce platforms as well as digital centers. We can help mainland enterprises to go through the testing and certification process, which comply with the law. Also, the SAR government should work with leading enterprises as well as the relevant sectors to organize cross-boundary forums as well as expos and exhibitions so that there could be dovetailing between products in Hong Kong and the mainland. And especially for sectors with edges in the mainland, we can help them go global. There should be greater collaboration between Hong Kong enterprises and mainland enterprises. We should serve as the super connector and super value adder. We can serve as the springboard for mainland SMEs. And the advanced technologies of the mainland enterprises, they can also offer help to Hong Kong SMEs. We can subsidize SME staff to learn different languages. We can offer market information as well as financing incentives as well as consultation services. We can offer tax breaks to SMEs. The SAR government should work with the different Chinese business associations in different places, especially those in the ASEAN countries as well as in the Middle East. The SAR government should serve as the bridge and help them overcome the language barriers so that they can tap into the different business opportunities. All in all, SMEs are important pillars of our economy. They are the core force for us to go international. We should leverage our advantages in professional services sector. We should be the bridge between mainland and Hong Kong. We should adopt an innovative model to help mainland enterprises to go global so that we can help present good stories of our country. Thank you. Dr. So Chun-Wing, Deputy President. We are seeing a trade war as well as technology revolution. Different mainland enterprises, including SMEs, are trying to go global to expand their development room. Hong Kong should leverage its characteristics as an international city. It should make use of its institutional advantages to contribute to the country's high-quality development. We should also make use of the opportunity to promote local SMEs so that they can go global with mainland enterprises. We should create room for our economy to grow. I speak in support of Mr. Sunny Tan's motion as well as Mr. Erik Yim's amendment. We are facing pressure to be innovative. We should not rely on the traditional market anymore. And this is a challenge faced by Hong Kong SMEs. The key is to leverage new productive forces. The government should roll out policies, initiatives to assist SMEs in Hong Kong to be innovative and make use of technology. In the mainland, a number of SMEs have world-class INT capabilities. They are trying to go global. There is a need for super connectors that offer professional services, and this presents a huge opportunity for us. In recent years, we've been trying to tap into the Middle Eastern as well as the ASEAN markets. We have accumulated experiences in providing professional services for the international world. We should have local SMEs as well as mainland SMEs with great potential to go global together. In the face of the challenges, Hong Kong needs to continue to enhance its ability to offer professional services. We should be recognized by international platforms that offers professional services. In terms of creating a good business environment, the SAR government should promote our R&D outcomes, our international financing ability, as well as our ability to offer dispute resolution services and to build a world supply chain. And we can be the stepping stone for mainland enterprises. This will also benefit Hong Kong SMEs. Now, to be a super connector, Hong Kong must take the initiative to work with mainland authorities and the relevant organizations to build a channel as well as a network. We should combine our resources and help Hong Kong SMEs to expand themselves. We should leverage our advantages as an international headquarters. In order for Hong Kong and mainland SMEs to go global, they should have greater collaborations. There should be a cross-boundary collaboration mechanism established by the SAR government. There should be greater collaboration. There needs to be a regular platform for brands in Hong Kong and the mainland to work together. We need regular policy measures from the government. We need to dovetail with the mainland in terms of our business model as well as brand marketing and so on. I so submit. Thank you. Mr. Paul Che, Deputy President. When I looked at this topic, I saw the word going global. Well, the word going global has come up several times today. This is a concept that comes from mainland China. This is about expanding into international market. This could be about raising funds from the international market or trawling for talents from overseas. As mentioned by a number of members, we have our advantages, we have our legal system and a free currency system. I agree, and I think we've been doing quite well in these areas. They are the foundation of Hong Kong. Well, I've made some observations. In the past few years, we've been talking about developing high-end technologies as well as new quality productive forces. We have been falling behind Shenzhen for some 20 years, and now we're talking about developing technologies. We're not only looking at fintech, we are talking about competing with Shenzhen in terms of developing our technologies. Well, this is not where our strengths lie. For example, for spec, we're not doing well enough. And we've been moving very slowly in other areas. So what I want to say is that we should focus on our strengths, that is our financial sector. Secondly, I'd like to talk about our strengths. We've been talking about going global, helping mainland SMEs to go overseas. Well, in order to do that, we have to turn to our unique advantages and characteristics. Well, our advantages have been eroded. However, under one country, two systems, we need to know very clearly where our strengths lie. If we lose our characteristics, we won't be able to help ourselves, any SMEs, or the mainland. So we have to retain our unique advantages and characteristics. Yesterday, the UN Secretary General hosted a talk. He talked about the Paris Protocol. He said that some 50% member states took part in the Paris Agreement that tackles climate change. Well, if we're able to tackle 80% of them, well, the rest doesn't really matter. We've been talking about going to the Middle East as well as Southeast Asia. Well, we have to keep up with the effort. However, we should not neglect our advantages in financial services. We should not give up on these markets and focus our energies on other things that will not help us. Now, we've been talking about different summits and international expos. There have been 1 or 2 international events every week these days. But what benefits do these events help us? We should focus on quantity instead of quality. Now, recently we have had the Automobile Expo, and there are many participants, including members of the district care team as well as different neighborhood organizations. Well, are we simply checking the list in terms of counting the number of participants we had? I think there is no need for us to boast the results we've achieved, because we know very well how much we are contributing to our country.
Does any other member wish to speak? Mr. Sunny TAN, you may now speak on the amendment. Thank you, Madam Deputy. I start by thanking Mr. Erik YIM for his amendment, and also I thank the 29 members who have spoken. They have shared ideas on how we can help SMEs develop. Mr. Erik YIM's amendment shares the same spirit as the motion. Our SMEs can tap into the mainland market. Mainland SMEs can tap the global market. We have to work together. We have to work with the mainland so that our SMEs can tap into the mainland. They find out what they should do, and then they can do a better job back in Hong Kong, and then they can go global. Hong Kong is a gateway for our country's high standard opening up, our government's work report also stresses support for Hong Kong to strengthen international exchanges. Our SMEs can go to the mainland. We should also attract SMEs from the Western world and Belt and Road countries to come here so that they can use our professional services. And we should also keep up with the times instead of training for talent. That way, we will be better placed to tap the mainland market. We bring in outside businesses, and we help mainland businesses to go global. Now, take our textile and garment industry. Some businesses compete on price, but our businesses go for the unwanted, undesired orders. They create their own niche. They provide manufacturing, R&D, and supply chain management. They provide quality services, and they have transformed themselves. So once you get the direction right, traditional industries can take part in the dual circulation. As I said in my opening remarks, there is rat race competition, but there are mainland businesses that have survived this rat race competition. They have potential. We want them to transform and upgrade themselves, and this is where government support is needed. Where public finances permit, I hope the government can review the support measures for SMEs and the export credit insurance services and continue to enhance the procedure to lower the costs for SMEs, and let's encourage SMEs to keep up with the times, to tie in with national development strategies. I support Mr. Erik Yim's amendment, and I hope members can support my motion. I so submit. Under Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs. Madam Deputy, I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for his motion and Mr. Erik YIM for his amendment. This debate lets us hear from members on how we can stimulate the upgrading and transformation of Hong Kong's SMEs by harnessing new quality productive forces so that we keep creating stronger impetus for Hong Kong's growth and actively align with our country's high-quality development. Members have shared their insight on this topic. President Xi Jinping has stressed repeatedly that it is only right for Hong Kong to integrate international development under one country, two systems. Such integration is also crucial to the new direction, new space, and new impetus for Hong Kong's future growth. The HKSAR government is keenly aware that Hong Kong's future is always intertwined with that of our country. The arbitrary tariffs imposed by the U.S. are even more reason for Hong Kong to support our country's high-quality ventures overseas and dual circulation strategy so that we can upgrade and transform our economy. Soon after the current term government took over, we set up the Steering Group on Integration International Development led by the Chief Executive to strengthen top-level planning and steer. The Steering Group oversees, coordinates, and monitors the various tasks on integration and international development from a higher level to create a steady stream of impetus for Hong Kong's growth. It will keep up the work on this front to further strengthen Hong Kong's alignment with our country's strategy. Hong Kong has been actively strengthening cooperation with different parts of the mainland in a concerted effort to foster new quality productive forces. So far, Hong Kong has set up 10 regional cooperation mechanisms with mainland provinces, municipalities, and regions. We work together in a comprehensive, multifaceted, and in-depth manner towards greater development across all partners to explore greater room for collaboration. The 5 offices of the HKSAR government in the mainland have been strengthening engagement and liaison with the central government, local governments at various levels, and other departments in the mainland. Our network of mainland offices covers various parts of our country, including Shanghai in the east, Chengdu in the west, Beijing in the north, and Wuhan in the center, with 11 liaison units. Each mainland office reaches out to the local governments in the area it serves to foster exchanges between Hong Kong and the mainland, to unlock more opportunities for Hong Kong's enterprises, including small and medium enterprises in the mainland market. The 2024 policy address laid down higher performance indicators for the mainland offices in 2025 than last year. These officers will have to organize no fewer than 3,300 visits to mainland authorities or bodies, attend no fewer than 280 speaking occasions, conduct no fewer than 340 media interviews or briefings, and take part in no fewer than 850 business and trade meetings. These offices will also continue to play a part in attracting businesses and investment in partnership with the offices for attracting strategic enterprises, Invest Hong Kong, and trade associations. Together, they host various events to promote investment, attract mainland enterprises, including SMEs and startups, provide potential investors with the latest information on Hong Kong's business environment, and promote Hong Kong's unique advantage of having our country's support and global connections. 5 of the dedicated teams for attracting businesses and talent set up in 2022 also formed Go Global units recently to help businesses expand overseas. This is part of our steps to attract mainland enterprises to Hong Kong and go global via our city. Meanwhile, the Guangdong Hong Kong Macau Greater Bay Area Development Office of the Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Bureau is committed to telling good stories of the Greater Bay Area and Hong Kong. The GBA Development Office conducts visits outside Hong Kong, works with different media outlets, makes use of the Greater Bay Area information stations installed in various districts, holds events, organizes expos, and issues newsletters to promote the vast opportunities and latest development of the GBA and Hong Kong's role as a bridge between the mainland and the world. The GBA Development Office also visits cities in the GBA to promote interaction between talent and businesses from Hong Kong and those cities. We encourage Hong Kong companies to establish a presence in the mainland and their mainland counterparts to come here so that they can go on to tap the Asian and global market. The GBA Development Office and the Guangdong Hong Kong Macau Greater Bay Area Development Coordination Promotion Center in Guangzhou also keep strengthening ties with the mainland authorities in GBA cities. These two agencies also work with relevant bodies in Hong Kong and the mainland to promote opportunities in the GBA to Hong Kong residents and enterprises, especially SMEs and young entrepreneurs pursuing development in the GBA cities. They also encourage mainland talent and businesses to leverage Hong Kong as a two-way platform for attracting overseas investment and going global, so a super connector and a super value adder in their effort to tap the global market. The GBA Development Promotion Center was set up in April 2023. Since then, it has held over or taken part in nearly 100 exchange and promotion events, including seminars and publicity sessions, and over 100 visits and trips. The CMAB will continue to forge closer ties and drive reciprocal cooperation with the mainland for Hong Kong to give full play to its role as a bridge between the mainland and the world. Deputy.
Undersecretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry. Thank you. I thank Mr. Sunny TAN for the motion. I also thank Mr. Erik YIM for the amendment and the 29 members for their valuable views. Members spoke about innovation and technology. For example, the need to strengthen Hong Kong's I&T ecosystem, promote the use of technology by enterprises for upgrading and transformation, optimize and strengthen Hong Kong's capability in professional services and producer services, including testing and certification, attract more outstanding IT enterprises to set up their operations in Hong Kong, and assist them in tapping into overseas markets by capitalizing on our unique advantages. I'll focus on these comments in my response. A number of members mentioned that there is a need to help SMEs to upgrade and transform themselves. We have allocated $500 million to the Cyber Board to roll out the Digital Transformation Support Pilot Program to help SMEs in the catering, retail, tourism, and other types of services to adopt digital technology. We have approved over 5,400 applications so far under the scheme. Some of the subsidized retail outlets said the scheme has helped them expand their clientele and that their business turnover has increased. Mr. Jimmy mentioned that in promoting new productive forces, we need to speed up new industrialization. Last year, we enhanced the new industrialization scheme. We encourage traditional sectors to make use of smart manufacturing. Within this year, the government will roll out the manufacturing production line upgrading support scheme. We will offer a subsidy of up to $250,000 for applicants to help enterprises bring in advanced technologies to their existing production lines. Now, enhancing production lines can serve as a basis for enterprises to go global and secure vibrant development. Dr. Sterry Lee as well as Mr. Chen Xiu-hong mentioned about the testing and certification sector in Hong Kong. And this is a trump card for us to help enterprises to go global. We have efficient and flexible services as well as brands in Hong Kong. And this can help enterprises enhance the quality and safety of their products. Also in Hong Kong, we have a well-established IP rights protection mechanism as well as a mature international network. All these can help our enterprises demonstrate the quality of their products externally, and this can also facilitate enterprises in going global. The government will continue to support the Hong Kong Council for Testing and Certification to raise the professional standard of Hong Kong's testing and certification services. This will enhance the international recognition of the testing and certification results issued by our industries. This will also help enterprises to go global and contribute to our country's high-quality development. A number of members mentioned that we need to bring in quality INT enterprises to Hong Kong. We should help these enterprises as well as the local enterprises to leverage our unique advantages, and they should go global together. As at this April, we have already talked to more than 200 enterprises with potential, and they may expand their operations in Hong Kong. A number of enterprises plan to expand their businesses in Hong Kong, and some of them have successfully applied to be listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Also, Cyberport, Hong Kong Science and Technology Parks, as well as the Hong Kong Productivity Council will continue to support startups in exploring different markets. For example, the Hong Kong Science Park as well as the Cyberport are proactively expanding their overseas partner network. For enterprises stationing in their parks as well as our local SMEs, they intend to offer more support to these enterprises so that these enterprises can more efficiently go global and attract overseas capital. A number of members mentioned about the provision of services. In this regard, the Productivity Council has set up the Cradle. It coordinates advanced technology solutions and products. It also offers one-stop services that cover product development, ESG, testing and certification, dovetailing services, IP management, as well as harmonization of laws and regulations. Apart from helping enterprises to go global through different measures, we support our enterprises, and we also strive to expand their networks as well as opportunities in the GBA. Deputy President, members, we will continue to work closely with different stakeholders and listen to the views of this council and the industry so as to actively support the development of Hong Kong's INT and SMEs. We will fully leverage our advantages and dovetail with our country's strategy to go global and to develop high-quality development. Thank you.
Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, Deputy President, I'd like to thank Mr. Sunny TAN for moving the motion and Mr. Erik YIM for his amendment, and 29 members who shared their views on leveraging new quality productive forces to drive the robust development of Hong Kong SMEs. Hong Kong market has a lot of potential. We are in the best position to seek business opportunities both southbound and northbound. In the first 4 months, Invest Hong Kong helped 223 mainland and overseas enterprises, representing a 13% increase year-on-year. We will continue to work with relevant agencies and organizations to actively promote our unique advantages, the development of the GBA, and opportunities arising from national strategies such as the Belt and Road Initiative, to potential investors and enterprises in the mainland and overseas to attract more companies to establish a presence in Hong Kong. When organizing international exhibitions, conferences, and investment promotion activities, the Hong Kong TDC arranges deal-making sessions and business matching services. These provide opportunities for mainland enterprises to connect with our professional services in design, brand management, and so on to support their expansion into overseas markets. In 2025, the Hong Kong TDC will organize financing salons in the mainland to attract mainland enterprises to list in Hong Kong. They will also arrange for industries to visit the Middle East and ASEAN to help various sectors in Hong Kong and mainland enterprises to go global together. In the financial sector, we'll continue to leverage on Hong Kong's unique advantages under one country, two systems, and the country's support for financial opening and innovation in the GBA. We will open up new markets and attract new capital through various measures. For example, in May this year, the Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Limited and the Securities and Futures Commission launched the TAC, that is Technology Enterprises Channel, to provide specialized guidance to specialist technology and biotech companies before submitting listed companies. Over the past year, the government has held investment promotion seminars on listing in Hong Kong in Beijing, Shanghai, and Ningbo, introducing mainland enterprises to the listing process and facilitating measures in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Institute of Certified Public Accountants has also compiled a list of over 80 Hong Kong accounting firms specializing in supporting mainland enterprises to go global. The IPD will continue to liaise with mainland, regional, and international organizations to promote our role as a regional IP trading center. In collaboration with the Hong Kong TDC and stakeholders, IPD will promote intellectual property trading and professional services through business missions and seminars, including the annual BIP Asia co-organized with TDC. The Hong Kong TDC will also increase business matching activities and provide more market information on IP trading, strengthening support for local regional works to enter mainland and international markets. Meanwhile, the CETB continues to encourage eligible organizations and bodies to make good use of the Professional Services Advancement Support Scheme to promote the development of Hong Kong's professional services. Over 120 projects have been funded under the main scheme that covered a wide range of professional fields, ranging from capacity building courses to international exchange activities. In response to growing demand in the mainland market, the Hong Kong government will continue to make good use of the preferential measures granted to Hong Kong under CEPA. E-commerce represents a form of new quality productive forces that breaks away from traditional models to drive economic growth, to help SMEs develop new business models such as cross-boundary e-commerce. In addition to the e-commerce easy initiative I made reference to in my opening remarks, we're implementing the e-commerce express program and organizing the second Hong Kong Shopping Festival through the Hong Kong TDC. The Trade and Industry Department will also launch a mentorship program this year to provide additional support for SMEs. Ongoing changes in global trade patterns and geopolitics bring uncertainties to our local economy. The government will actively consolidate our position as the country's southern gateway and leverage on its unique strengths in connecting the mainland and the world. Through the strategy of strengthening our international ties, forging close partnership within the GBA, and opening up more overseas markets, we'll step up efforts to deepen international exchanges and cooperation. We will attract more mainland and overseas enterprises to establish a presence in Hong Kong, and at the same time help Hong Kong enterprises to explore business opportunities in the mainland market. So, enhancing the economic growth momentum of Hong Kong, I so submit.
I now call upon Mr. Erik YIM to move an amendment. Madam Deputy, I move my amendment. I propose the question to you that Mr. Erik Yim's amendment be passed. I now put the question to you as stated. Would those in favor please raise with their hands? Those against, please raise with their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present, that is, those returned by the election committee and those returned by functional constituencies and geographical constituencies. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Sunny TAN, you still have 2 minutes, 8 seconds to reply, then the debate will come to a close. Mr. Sunny TAN. Thank you, Madam Deputy. 30 members spoke on this motion. They shared many insightful comments. I am grateful to them. As Dr. Bernard Chen just said, the government has done much in supporting businesses, and the government will review the measures. Now is the time to review the measures and enhance our support. Dr. Starry Lee, in her speech, also suggested creating departments at our mainland offices to help mainland businesses go global. Mr. Ronald Chen, Dr. Johnny Yim, and other members also argued for a one-stop platform for mainland businesses going global. I fully support that idea. We can work with the MIIT and the National Federation of Trades. Let's have top-level effort to drive this change. Now, as for our overseas economic and trade offices, they have the resources to play a role. Let's consolidate the resources and also the quasi-official bodies so that we can offer in-depth support for overseas ventures and use Hong Kong's position to help our country's development. Hong Kong is the most internationalized city of our country, so we should scale up and beef up our advantage. For culture and business, we need to go international. The same goes for talent. We have to be more international in everything we do to further reflect the advantage of one country, two systems, so that we can make a new contribution to our country. As so submit, I urge members to support my motion. I now put the question to you that Mr. Sunny Tan's motion, as amended by Mr. Erik YIM, be passed. With those in favor, please raise their hands. Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present, that is, those returned by the election committee and those returned by functional constituencies and geographical constituencies. I declare the motion passed. Council is now suspended until 9 a.m. tomorrow.